Hey people, welcome to Dr. Priyanka's Biology, where we discuss everything from biology to biotechnology. So, we had started with this chapter that is the molecular basis of inheritance of 12th standard NCERT textbook. So, we were focusing on the series of experiments that were conducted right from Gregor Mendel to the people who came to the conclusion that it is the DNA that is the actual genetic material. So we had seen the efforts put forth by Frederick Griffith, where he came to the conclusion that there is something that is transforming or that is getting changed. So in his classic experiment where he was working on the two strains of Streptococcus pneumoniae, the R strain and the S strain, in his experiment with the mice, so he saw that something was changed or something had changed that R strain that led to the death of the mice. So what was that? So though he came to the conclusion there is something that is getting transformed, okay, there is something that is causing the change, but he could not prove the actual biomolecule, or he did not came to the conclusion that it is the DNA or it is the RNA or it is the protein. So there were many people who were working in between. So this was the time during the 20, almost around 1928, but till almost 1944 this fact that DNA is the actual genetic material was not confirmed. So in between there were people who said it is the protein that is the genetic material. So people were trying their best at different levels, different labs in the world. They were working and it was getting communicated to the world that it is not this and it is that. So in between, a group of scientists called Avery, MacLeod and McCarthy, they started working on this. So today let's get started with some more experiments which were paving the way towards the establishment of the fact that it is not the protein or the RNA, but it is the DNA that is the genetic material. So we studied the Griffiths experiment. So today let us take the another example or another experiment that was trying to prove the nature of genetic material or the biochemical characterization of the transforming principle. So this work was done by Oswald Avery, Colin MacLeod and Maclean McCarthy. So let's see what they had done. So almost like this work was done somewhere around 1933 to 1944, where like many people like they were believing that okay it is the protein that is the genetic material, but these three people, that is Avery, MacLeod and McCarthy, they started working and they came to the conclusion that it is the DNA that is the genetic material. So that was the first attempt made by them. Okay, it was they were the first people to confirm, but still many of the biologists were not convinced with this. So there were some more experiments which had to take place and finally it was proved that it is the DNA that is the genetic material. So today, first let us get started with the work that was done by Avery and his group. So let's see what they did. So they purified the biochemicals, that is the proteins, DNA and RNA, from the heat killed as cells. Okay, so we know that from the previous experiment that was conducted by Griffith. So from the dead mice, okay, they repeated the experiment and from the dead mice they collected the heat killed bacteria. So from the heat killed bacteria they isolated the proteins, RNA and the DNA. So in this flask you would be able to see that I have marked three things, that is the proteins, RNA and the DNA. Sorry. So what they did was, so by now biochemistry was very much established. So people knew the work or the role of different enzymes. So there was this DNAs, RNAs and proteinases. So role of DNAs was to digest or to break down DNA. Okay. So if we have a sample, so if we have a sample here, so and if we treat this, it's a same thing that we have divided it into three flasks, and in the first flask we have added DNAs. Now because DNAs is being added to this flask, the DNA from this flask will get degraded. So we will be left only with the RNA and the protein. Next flask, RNA was added. The role of RNAs was to break down or to degrade RNA. So that means from this particular flask, okay, RNA will be eliminated. So we will be left only with the DNA and the protein. And the last flask we have proteinase. Okay, we have added proteinase. That means it will eliminate the protein and only we will have your DNA and the RNA. So all these respective flasks, whatever we have, the content of this flask was inoculated in the R strain. Okay, the R strain bacteria. They were inoculated. And then this mixture was injected into the mice. So it was seen that from the flask that had DNase enzyme, so we know that it will not have the DNA. So DNA is eliminated. So here what has happened is the mouse is alive. So suppose if we were working, because this condition is exactly as that of the condition created by Griffith. So only difference is that we have used different enzymes over here. That is DNase, RNase and the proteinases. So from here DNA is eliminated. That means DNA is not there. So what has got transferred to the mouse? That is the protein and the RNA. But as per the previous experiment that was conducted by Griffith, okay, in this condition the mouse should die, right? But here something else has happened, that mouse is still alive. That means it is not the DNA that has transferred, okay? So next was what they did was they took the flask with RNAs that was again inoculated with the R strain and it was injected into the mice. So they saw that the mice had died. Same situation occurred from when they injected the mice with the proteinase containing and the RNA R strain mixture. So they saw that it died. So from this it was concluded that wherever this DNA is absent, it did not create the same situation. But in case of these two, that is the RNase and the proteinase containing flask, so there were in both the things what is common is the DNA. So only DNA is the common thing present over here. That means the DNA has got transferred, because in this particular flask, okay, RNA is also there, protein is also there, but it did not kill the mice. Okay, that means it is not the RNA or the protein which caused the death of the mouse, but it is the DNA. So from this it was proved that the DNA is the genetic material. So the attempts of Oswald Lavery, MacLeod and McCarthy, they proved that DNA is the actual genetic material. But so this was whole thing was based on Griffith's experiment, that is the transforming principle. But it did not satisfy the biological society. So there were more people who came into picture, and then they proved in a much more better way, okay, that DNA is the actual genetic material. So let's see what was that next experiment. So this next experiment was conducted by Hershey and Chase. So why I am dealing with these experiment is that because they could be asked separately for your board exams. So especially this is very important for your board exams, and for NEET exams there could be some questions asked in a twisted manner. Alright. So now let's see what is this experiment conducted by Hershey and Chase. So this was somewhere around 1952 when Alfred Hershey and Martha Chase, they proved it with the help of viruses which are called as the bacteriophages. Now these bacteriophages are known to attack the bacteria. Sorry. These bacteria viruses, they are known to attack the bacteria. So they have this typical structure wherein they have a protein coat which carries the genetic material, and they have these hook like structures which will hold very firmly onto the surface of the bacteria, and then they would inject the genetic material. Okay, they would inject their genetic material into the bacteria with the help of their core. So this is the function and working of these bacteria. And then this genetic material, it enters inside the, so here if you see here, it will enter into the host, and it will use the entire host machinery. Okay, here you will see that it has entered here. It will use the host machinery to manufacture all the parts of the virus which is required, and they will assemble and they will break open the cell and they will cause the infection. This is how it works. So this is just like how your automobile industry works. Now sorry, when we have these buses and all, so there will be different parts, they will be built up and finally they will be put together, and that's how a bus or a vehicle is built in a factory. It's not that the whole thing is prepared together. The way we cook food, everything is put inside a pot and it is cooked, it is ready. So it is not like that in case of your vehicles. The parts are procured separately, they are assembled, and the vehicle is built. Same way, the bacteriophages are also built from different components. They are put together and a bacteriophage is being built. And after the lytic or the lysogenic cycle, they will enter or they will be broken open. Okay, so this is how actually your bacteriophage works. So now let us focus on the experiment that was conducted by Martha Chase and Alfred Hershey. So now let us see what experiment they actually conducted. So it was a very simple experiment they conducted. So what they did was they took the viruses, that is the bacteriophages, and they grew them on the medium. Now they chose two different media here. Okay, they choose two different media. Now in one medium, okay, I have taken these two flasks over here, and if you see the color is different. Okay, now in one flask what they did was they had sorry, they had this radioactive phosphorus. So they grew, they put some of the bacteriophages here and they allowed them to grow. And in the second flask they had this radioactive sulfur that was added to this medium, and they inoculated another batch of bacteriophages and they allowed them to grow. Now we know that the medium what they have, they will use it for their growth, right? So that means all those things will, they will get incorporated inside the bacteriophage. Now we know that phosphorus is a component of DNA. We have studied the nature of DNA, right? So phosphorus is a regular content of DNA, whereas sulfur is present in the proteins. So here the DNA of the bacteriophage became radioactive in case of the flask where they were grown on the radioactive phosphorus, and whereas in the other flask they had the radioactive protein and the DNA was normal, and vice versa in case of the other flask. Now what they did was, okay, they took this bacteria, and sorry, they took these bacteriophages and they grew them on a medium containing, or they grew them on E. coli. So here we have the E. coli cells. So they grew them on them. Okay, so here what they saw was, after growing, so obviously we know that these bacteriophages are known to infect the E. coli cells. So here they infected the E. coli cells. So the entire infection cycle was completed. And now what they did was they wanted to separate the proteins, protein heads, because we knew that the genetic material is held inside the protein head. So what they did was they put them in a blender and they agitated them. So on agitation, okay, there was separation of the protein heads were separated from the E. coli, and after that they centrifuged the whole thing inside the centrifuge machine, and they separated the E. coli and the protein particles. The viral particles were separated from the E. coli. So now what they had was pure E. coli. So now what they did was, okay, they saw that after growing, they saw that they got the only the cells which contain radioactive DNA, they became radioactive, whereas the bacterial cells which were grown in the radioactive sulfur containing medium, they did not become radioactive. So this indicated that what had been passed from the virus to the bacteria is the DNA and not the protein. So this is how it was finally concluded that it is the DNA that is the actual genetic material, and not protein or any other biomolecule. So this is how scientists came to the conclusion that it is the DNA and not the protein, which is the genetic material. So this is how it was proved, the nature of the genetic material was proved. So for your exams, I would suggest you that just understand these slides that I have put up. So you don't need to read through entire content, but just go through the slides. It will be very easy. So that within matter of 2 minutes, if you understand the logic, the entire experiment will be very, very easy for you. So till then, keep studying and keep smiling. And if you want any help from us, please get connected with us to know more about the courses that we have in biology to help you move towards your NEET and the boards. So till then, keep studying, keep smiling. Thank you.